6 lead generation strategies for local and offline businesses. It's still possible to capture leads if your business is a brick and mortar business. Here are a few ways to start capturing leads. You can start a competition or giveaway. In order for your customers to enter, they need to enter their details such as their name, email, phone number, address, and so on. They're then put into your database. In exchange, you offer whatever it is that you're giving away. It could be a voucher for your store, or it could be a loyalty program that they join. Next, you want to make sure that you're on Google Places, so you're found based on your local geographical area. Let's say you're a vet. You want to make sure that you want to get exposure around your area. So you would put it and list it on Google Places. So then anyone who is searching for vets in that location, they'll see your business as a listing. Another way is to create an app. Now, it doesn't need to be complex and complicated. You don't need to create a game. It could be as simple as a calculator. Let's say you're a financial planner. You can create a calculator for your customers. It could either be paid or it could be a free app. In your app, you could then put in relevant credit to your business. Next, an easier way to gain exposure is to use Google AdWords. Google AdWords allows you to really specify and target your geographical location and the types of people you want to target. Could be male, female, or based around geographical location. And what's great is it works for all types of budgets. If you're on a low budget, then you can set a budget based around that. Generally, the higher your budget, the more exposure you'll get because you're able to afford to get more traffic to your website. Lastly, it's important to make sure you optimize your website for search engines. It's a lot easier to rank around your local geographical area than it is if you were to target worldwide. If you don't know anything about search engine optimization, then I recommend using some type of SEO agency to do the SEO for you. When you get exposure from search engines, it's free, okay? You're not paying for Google AdWords. These are natural, organic listings on Google. So it's worthwhile to consider investing in search engine optimization. Understanding the types of leads. First, we have the cold lead. The cold lead is the lead that you have only just acquired, that knows nothing about your business, and that as yet has no interest in your product or service. However, you got your cold lead. Your next step is to convert them into a warm lead. Better yet, there are ways of ensuring that your leads are warm when they first reach you, which can save you a lot of trouble and effort. The warm lead has everything that the cold lead does. They fit your target demographic, you have the means to market to them, and they are statistically likely to buy from you. The big difference is that they have shown some actual interest in your brand, if not your product, and hopefully even given you permission to contact them. Next is a qualified lead. A qualified lead is then a lead that has taken the next step and gone from being interested in your brand to being interested in your product. That means they have somehow shown interest in buying from you. Perhaps they have asked for some information about a specific product, for example, or perhaps they have added your product to their cart or to some kind of wish list. Maybe they've backed your product on Kickstarter even. They might have asked for a quote, or they might literally have told you they want your product. Either way, the qualified lead is now someone who wants to buy and who just needs that tiny push in order to actually take the plunge. In this video, I'm going to show you some ways on how to capture leads using exit pops. Now, what are exit pops? The best way is to give you a demonstration. You've got this pop-up that appears when someone hovers over the close button on the browser. Exit pops are used so that you can still capture leads on exit. Typically, the conversion rate for exit pops are anywhere between 10 to 20%. So without using exit pops, those 10 to 20% of your visitors would have been lost. Just look at it as one last chance for you to capture your visitors. Usually you only have a few seconds to capture your visitors' attention. And if you're paying for advertising, this is especially important because you don't want to waste your marketing efforts and your investment into the ads that you paid for. Instead of losing out, why not use an exit pop? This is another example. I went to Opt-in Monster, which is the tool that I recommend you use if you want to create some exit pops. I hovered over the close button on my browser and this appeared. 12 proven ways to convert abandoning visitors into subscribers. This website's offering this free report, and all I need to do is just enter my name and email, and that way this company has got my details and they can follow up. In sales, they say that people don't actually buy until the 7th to 8th exposure. They might not buy on the 1st or 2nd exposure, but the more they're exposed to your brand, the more likely they'll buy from your brand. So to create exit pops, you can either use Opt-in Monster, which is, I'd say, the most popular exit pop tool. And if I click on pricing, you can get a feel for what it costs. Obviously, if you choose the annual payment, you're saving more. If you get the basic package, you can create unlimited opt-in forms, do A/B split testing, page level targeting is enabled, and user-friendly reporting. However, it's restricted to one site only. So if you have multiple websites, then you'd want to make sure that you move on to the next plan. Another option for creating exit pops is to use LeadPages. They have a thing called lead boxes. This is a lead box. Once you create a lead box, you can then embed it to any page on your website. So then when someone hovers over that close button or about to exit, they will see your lead box. Embedding it is very easy. If I click on publish right here, I'm going to click save first. And it's giving me these options, a standard lead box or a pop-up lead box. And there's also the exit lead box that we want. And this option here says don't show lead box again for 0 days. So if a visitor enters, they will see the lead box in however many days that you set it. So if I set it to 0, they'll always see the lead box every time they enter my site and try to exit. If I set it to 1 day, then they won't see that lead box until the next day. Once you've configured that, you can simply publish it by copying and pasting this HTML code. If you're using WordPress, they have a compatible WordPress plugin that you can install, which makes it easy to integrate the lead box to your website. And that's how you capture leads using exit pops.